Hey everybody, we just got back from our first Virgin Voyage and we were on the Valiant Lady. And so we thought we'd come on and just let you know what we thought. Some things that we really loved about it and some things we thought that they could improve on. So my name is Karen, this is my husband.
I'm Cliff.
And we've been on one other cruise together. I've been on a couple of them on my own, but so we kind of are comparing it to that cruise, and we'll talk about that a little bit too if you would like. But this was our first Virgin. So what do you think was the biggest pro about it?
Without a doubt for me, it was the food. If I had it to do over, I would just start booking Extra Virgin as my restaurant of choice for every meal, pretty much.
Yeah, Extra Virgin was their Italian restaurant. And the thing that's really cool about Virgin is that all of the restaurants are included in the price. So they have all these, I think they have like 20 different places you can eat. And so they're all included in the price, so you can just pick and choose where you want to eat at any time. So the Virgin, Extra Virgin was the Italian. We thought the bread was amazing.
Yes.
The pasta, oh my God, I got what did I get? The taglione?
Taglione, I think it was.
Oh, it was so delicious. And what did you got?
I went with the bolognese pasta ragu, and it was just outstanding. The most flavorful sauce ever. It was a pork and beef combination. Everything tasted so good. I ordered it thinking of getting a small serving. I got enough I could have made an entire meal just out of that.
Yes, so we got that, and then you got a steak as well?
I did.
Yeah, and I got the bass, I think.
Correct.
At that time, yeah. So everything was just superb, delicious. But beyond that restaurant, we went to the Mexican restaurant, which was called Pica Agave, and we also had steak there, and I had a bass there. But very, very different type of restaurant, really, really good. And then we went to the
I will say about the Pica Agave is that it is a much more upscale Mexican style restaurant.
Yes.
So if people are expecting their neighborhood Tex-Mex, you're going to get an entirely different experience there. The food was outstanding. The seasonings were great. The recipes were superb.
And the drinks are really good. We don't drink alcohol, but we got the mocktail margaritas and delicious, very, very good. So that's to the restaurant. We went to the Wake, which is their steak restaurant. We went there for breakfast twice. So we ended up not going there for dinner. We opted to do something else that night that we had the reservation. But the breakfast was outstanding. They had, you could have steak and eggs. You could have, I think it had spinach or kale. It had some kind of potato. Was it like a hash brown kind of thing?
It was something a little bit more complex and more upscale than that. But it was hash browns taken to the next level, I guess.
Yes, yeah. Very, very good at the Wake. I think we got fresh squeezed orange juice that morning, great coffee, just a really, really cool place. And the Wake is a restaurant which is right at the end of where the boat is. So you could actually see the water rolling, which was really cool. What was this? Oh, we went to Gunbae, which is their Korean. Gunbae is a really fun dinner. You get most of the other dinners that you book on Virgin, unless you're traveling with other people, you're just eating by yourself. But at Gunbae, they mix you with other groups. So we were with 4 other people, and they play little drinking games, which are, fun. And the food, not something we're used to, but there was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't really our cup of tea that we were really used to.
Yeah, I would say that was the only restaurant where I walked away thinking, this one isn't for me. I won't be coming back. Like I said, nothing bad, but less of the things that I thought would have been very flavorful. The fact that the pork belly seemed to have no seasoning whatsoever was a little bit surprising. All in all, I enjoyed the experience more than I enjoyed the food that I got with it.
Yeah, and it was certainly nice to meet new people. And the second morning at the Wake, we met another couple that were eating next to us, and we really enjoyed their company and made a connection there. So you can make connections. It's just not the same as some of the other ships. There's no main dining room, so you can eat wherever you want, whenever you want. We also ate frequently at the galley, which has a lot of different options. They have a taco bar, a burger bar, a salad bar. They have something called the Daily Diner that you can get for breakfast. You can get eggs done however you like them. hash browns, toast, bacon, sausage, all the stuff that you're used to, your normal places you would go to breakfast, pancakes, things like that. And then for lunch and dinner, they would have things like mashed potatoes, corn, roast chicken, all that kinds of stuff. They had a noodle bar. They had
a taco bar. They had a dessert bar where you could get a number of different pastries in there. They had a panini station. They had you mentioned the noodles already. They also had the salad bar, the fact that you could go there at any time. The only drawback I saw was that things seemed to be closed. Some of the stations were closed at times where I really thought it would have been nice to have had them open.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would be great to be able to get tacos or panini for dinner, but they were closed for dinner, lunch only apparently.
Yeah. So, and then a couple of other food offerings they had that we really enjoyed. One of them was called Lick Me Till Ice Cream.
Yes.
And it was all these different flavors of ice cream. You could get them in a cup or cones, all different kinds of cones. Delicious. And always available. Never had to wait in a long line for any of it. You could take taste of as many as you wanted before you got the whole cone. You could get several. It was all included. And we went there several times.
Yeah, we did. And they had, most of their flavors were there every day, but there were a couple of flavors that rotated. So you would go back and you'd see a couple of new flavors you had not seen, which was great. The coconut showed up on Friday. Just outstanding coconut flavor in that coconut.
I really like the key lime pie flavor, and I like the, was it brown butter?
There was a brown butter.
Yes, I really like that one
Very
too.
rich, and the chocolate was extremely rich and chocolatey, and that's the other thing. The ice cream was so rich, you almost felt like it was just that close to being a gelato, but it was just outstanding.
And then they had another place called the Social Club, and at the Social Club, which they had a lot of activities and things there, you could also get hot dogs and pretzels, popcorn. You could get was it peanut brittle,
Peanut brittle,
fudge, things like that. Yeah,
things.
so there was a lot of offerings there that you could get. And then they had a pizza place. It was just dedicated to pizza. And we went there a couple of times. The pizza was good. The only drawback that we saw about it was they just didn't seem to have enough offerings of different types of toppings, like normal topping, what we would consider normal. They didn't have olives, they didn't have mushrooms, they didn't have peppers, they didn't have sausage. They had pepperoni, they had white cheese, they had some kind of, I don't remember vegetables really. Maybe they had some kind of spices, but it was very minimal offerings, which I thought was a little strange for a pizza place.
On Saturday night, they added a Hawaiian pizza, which it had ham, it had pineapple. A lot of people I enjoy Hawaiian pizza fine, but there are a number of people who think that pizza and pineapple should not be any closer than they are in the dictionary. So.
But all in all, overall, the food we would give a 10 out of 10. The food was amazing overall.
And I will say that the pizza station's crust was just outstanding. It was a thin, crispy, but flavorful crust. So while you couldn't get all the toppings you wanted, the crust, the sauce, excellent. The flavor really came through.
And the service was excellent. Everyone was on par. They were on board. We didn't feel like we waited anything, long for anything. And they were just, even one time we wanted to go earlier than our reservation, and they were able to work us in. So that was really nice. They did everything they could to accommodate and make everybody happy. One of the other things that we loved was that there was a lot to do on the ship. I've always said about cruises, the two things that I look for in cruise is good food and good activities, good shows. And they had all of that. The shows were amazing. We saw Around the World with Diva. We saw Dual Reality, which was an acrobatic show that was sort of loosely based on a movie like
Romeo and Juliet, West Side Story.
Yeah, that type of thing.
That was the story behind it, but it was like Romeo and Juliet with a lot of acrobatics and a dash of parkour. Mix that in.
But very well done, and I enjoyed watching it.
Yes.
And then,
I will say that there is one moment in there where the two competing acrobats climb a very tall pole and then slide down face first, stopping an inch or so from the ground. I never want to slide down anything face first, stopping an inch or so from the ground.
No. We did go see one show that we wouldn't really recommend. It's called It's a Ship Show, which is the only one you have to have a reservation for because they also serve a dinner. We had already had dinner before we went, so we didn't eat the dinner. But the first part of the show has a band with a singer, and they did 2 or 3 songs. They were excellent. They were really, really good. They were enjoyable. But after that, it kind of went downhill. It's a lot of freak show type acts, I guess is what I would call them.
The freak show meets oddities. That's what they would call it 50 years ago. Someone who was extremely double jointed, who could assume a number of grotesque looking positions. A sword swallower who swallowed 1 sword and then swallowed 2 swords at the same time. And that is not something that I really find appealing to watch.
Though, I actually saw what was about to happen before it happened, so I just turned away until it was over because I knew I didn't really want to see it. So you don't want to be that way at a show.
But that did remind me of probably what I would assume is one of the worst jobs on the ship. The guy who has to come out and clean up the stomach mucus after the sword swallower. That is the job I do not want.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe some people like that. Another show we saw was a comedy show with Lisa Alvarez. You can look her up. She's pretty famous. She has an HBO special and I think a Netflix show. I can't remember. But she was very funny and very raunchy. So if you don't mind that, it was a fun comedy show.
They took the no kids are on the ship so we can be adult. They took that very seriously for that show.
Yes. And then we got to see lots of musical acts, which were really fun. One of our favorites was the duo Ray and Joe. They are brother and sister, and they play guitar and sing, and we loved them so much the first time we went back and saw them again. And they were very popular. And they were in the open roundabout part of the ship, so a lot of people were up on the balcony watching them. You could sit in front of them and watch, and there was just they had a big following. They were great.
And what really impressed me was their personality. You really felt like that they came through as real people. They did request, and if you made a request and they didn't know it, they would explain why they didn't know it or why that didn't work for them. One person was very persistent in wanting disco, and they explained disco is not something they'd rehearse. They said, we will try rehearsing it, but we just don't know it well enough to do it right now.
They're from Italy, so they just did a fabulous job. We just enjoyed that a lot. And then there was another band that we saw a little bit of. I think they did they did hustle songs and things like that, and they were excellent as well. And then we also saw the Diva Cabaret, and she was amazing, and we just enjoyed her so much. She told a little bit about her story, and I thought she was extremely good in front of a crowd and very personable. And afterwards, we were able to meet her and take pictures with her, and I really enjoyed that whole experience with her. I think, what's her name on Instagram?
Caricature.
Caricature, yeah. So you can look her
That's
up.
all K's. Cara, and then the second name, Kature. Caricature.
So that was a lot of fun.
Someone is at